culture is, I think, where a company starts. And I believe in three things for a business that every good, really, organization has to have. It's, a strong culture. That's the why.
Hmm.
You've got to inspire belief in the why
Yeah.
from your people, and that's kind of where everything starts. Then secondly is strategy. So strategically, you got to be at the place that what your ideal customer looks like, who you're going after, how you're going to get to that customer, how you're going to shoot cannonballs, not bullets, in doing that, and really scale the marketing effort, and then strategically how you're going to pull off doing your services, hiring people, all those big picture strategy things. And if that's the if culture is the why, then I think that strategy is the what. Then after that, I think it comes down to execution. If you got the right culture in place, and then you've put the right strategies in place, then you just got to go get stuff done, right? You got to expect world-class results from your team, and make sure that you're executing every day.
This episode is brought to you by 10X Nerds. If you're a business owner doing real revenue, there's a good chance you're overpaying in areas you haven't even looked at. Things like credit card processing, insurance, telecom, and more. 10X Nerds comes in, audits your expenses across 30 plus categories, and finds immediate savings. And here's the kicker. They only get paid if they save you money. It's a complete no-brainer. If you want to keep more of what you make, go check them out at 10xnerds.com. This episode is brought to you by Rakowski Law Firm. If you're a business owner or have built a level of wealth, but you don't have your estate plan dialed in, you're exposed. Rakowski Law Firm helps families and business owners protect their assets, avoid probate, and make sure everything transfers exactly how it should. This isn't just paperwork, it's a real strategy to protect your legacy. If you haven't looked at your plan in a while or don't have one, go to rakowskilawfirm.com. This episode is brought to you by my friend Silas Lagoy over at ForgeMark Wealth. If you're a high-income business owner or professional and feel like you're getting crushed by taxes, you're not alone. And more importantly, you're not stuck. ForgeMark Wealth specializes in advanced legal tax strategies and wealth planning designed to help you keep more of what you make, grow it efficiently, and actually build long-term freedom, not just income. If you're making serious money but don't have a real strategy behind it yet, I highly recommend connecting with Silas and his team. What's up, everybody? This episode is sponsored by ExitWise. If you're a business owner thinking about selling your company, whether that's now or years down the road, you need to know what your business is actually worth and how to maximize that exit. That's exactly what ExitWise does. They help you prepare, position, and ultimately sell your business by assembling a world-class team of M&A experts around you, guiding you from valuation all the way through closing. If you want to know what your business is really worth and how to increase that number before you sell, go check out exitwise.com and get ahead of it.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Builder's Bible podcast. Today, we're going to be covering a lot of key topics, the challenges, the pain points, growth, expansion, and many more. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it.
Appreciate your time. Thanks for hopping on a call with me.
Absolutely. Glad to.
Yeah. It's give me a little bit of background about what you guys are doing, how you got into it, because you said Rogue's been around for a while, but you got in it a little bit later. So yeah, tell me how all that came about.
Yeah, so I've spent the past pretty much my whole work life working in pest control, with the exception of a few years right after dropping out of community college where I did other things. It was more like a few months than a few years, but got into pest control just to make enough money to survive, so my wife could go to grad school. And after getting into pest control, kind of fell in love with the freedom and worked my way up through a regional company here in Huntsville, Alabama, and then moved on to a company called Wayne's after that. Went through an acquisition where Wayne sold, the original owner sold Wayne's to a private equity group that had purchased a company called Entis, and stayed for 3 years after that. Had a good time, really enjoyed, learned a lot then, but at that point it was just time to make a move. And the guys who had launched Rogue in Birmingham had reached out several times about us partnering together and them wanting to open up Huntsville and Nashville. So it just worked out. There were two guys that I trusted, or actually three guys that I trusted, and we had worked together in the past, and we came together. And I always tell people, most people look at it and say, "Oh, you guys are a franchise." Well, no, we're not a franchise. We're just people who who have decided to partner together to do this together. So from a customer facing standpoint and an employee facing standpoint, we're the same company, but technically we're separate LLCs. And so we've been able to so far navigate the fact that we're 5 friends who own different regions and manage different regions and able to work out our job duties every day to try to, grow our business the best that we can through our builder partners.
Gotcha. So you guys everything's underneath one umbrella and you have different territories, it sounds like?
Kinda. I mean, technically we're 5 separate businesses on paper,
Okay.
but from a customer facing standpoint, we're one company and we
Gotcha.
function as one company. When we do our company wide meetings, we do them together, and different owners lead different aspects of our business. We're not probably big enough to call ourselves a C-suite yet, but if we had a C-suite, all of us kind of cover all those kind of C-suite roles they would be, and do that throughout the whole company, but then also have more of a focus in our local business. So all of us own parts of each other's business, but we're all majority owners in our specific markets.
Gotcha. Oh, that's an interesting setup you guys have. I've never really heard anything like that.
Yeah, it was more out of a necessity, I think, that we did it that way, a way that it could work and it can make sense for us. But like I said, we operate our employees. It feels like we're one company. And for our customers, we have customers that move from the Gulf Coast to Nashville, and we hand those back and forth seamlessly. So from a customer and an employee standpoint, we're one company. We just file different taxes. That's really the difference right now.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. How's that working out for you? Like, this whole setup is pretty good, because I'm sure one guy can come say, hey, Ryan, I need some help over here. Can you send some guys, or can you send, some capital, or, whatever, we need some trucks over here or something. They can just give you a call and say, hey, we need some support. Would you be able to?
Yeah. And we share labor back and forth.
Okay.
Early on, what we've shared mostly is capital and the ability to borrow money, or to, take capital out of stable business, because there's an emerging market like Huntsville or Nashville that's a little faster growing. You talk to business owners, talk to business people. Some people call it the rule of 40. Some people call it the rule of 20, but the balance of profitability and growth. And so we have some branches that are growing really fast and some branches that are growing slower, but a little bit more stable on cash flow. And we're able to, share those resources back and forth in order to take advantage of whatever opportunities come our way. So it's worked out really well. It's complicated. We got to get insurance 5 times every year. We've got to, all those kind of things you got to fill out multiple times, which is a little bit, harder. But for the most part, it's done well for us. And I don't think there was a way to achieve what we all wanted and all of us be able to protect ourselves individually and also share resources the way we have without doing it the way.
Yeah. Well, hey, it sounds like it's working out for you guys. So don't fix it until it's broken.
For sure.
This episode is brought to you by Blue Collar Business Advisors. If you're running an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, or landscaping, or any other type of home service business and wondering where all the money is going despite growing your revenue, you need to talk to Paul Maskill. Paul has scaled and sold multiple blue-collar businesses and now helps business owners improve cash flow, profitability, and financial clarity through outsourced CFO services. His clients gain a better understanding of their numbers, build predictable profits, and create a business that supports the life they actually want. One of the things I appreciate most about Paul is he's not just a finance guy. He's been in the trenches as an owner. He understands the challenges of running blue-collar businesses because he's done it himself. If you're doing a few $1 million a year in revenue and want to stop guessing at your numbers and start building real wealth, head over to bluecollaradvisors.com. That's thebluecollaradvisors.com and schedule a discovery call with Paul and his team. Blue Collar Business Advisors, helping blue-collar business owners build financially healthy companies and achieve permanent profitability. This episode is brought to you by Corberry Digital. If you own an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, or home service business and you're tired of wondering where your next lead is coming from, you need to check out Corberry Digital. Corberry specializes exclusively in helping home service companies dominate their local markets through SEO, Google Ads, local service ads, websites, content marketing, and lead generation systems that actually produce a measurable ROI. Their team doesn't just focus on clicks and impressions. They help contractors lower customer acquisition costs, increase qualified leads, and build a marketing engine that scales. What I like about Corberry is they understand the blue collar space. They aren't trying to be everything to everyone. Their entire focus is helping trades businesses win in their backyard and generate more profitable jobs. If you're looking to grow your business, improve your online visibility, and build a marketing system that works, visit Corberry.com and schedule a strategy session with their team. That's Corberry.com. Tell them you heard about them on the podcast. This episode is brought to you by Jonathan Keim and the teams at 360 Commercial Roofing and Top Roof Marketing. If you own or manage commercial property, or you're a roofing contractor looking to grow, Jonathan has spent more than a decade helping businesses protect their buildings and scale through proven commercial roofing and marketing systems. His companies specialize in commercial roofing solutions, roof asset management, and marketing built specifically for the roofing industry. Whether you need a trusted commercial roofing partner or want to generate more qualified roofing leads, check out 360 Commercial Roofing or Top Roof Marketing. You can go to www.360, like 360, commercialroofing.com, and Top Roof Marketing, www.toproofmarketing.com. Now let's get into today's episode.
Yeah, well, very nice. Well, okay, let me ask you this. How are you guys going about, getting your capital? Are you doing lines of credit, business loans, credit cards, cash?
Yeah. So we were really blessed. Scott and Jamie, who were the original two founders of Rogue, from 2017 to 2023, built a business fairly slowly but very profitably. And so because they did that, they were able to put themselves and the business in a cash flow positive state with some money in the coffers. And they did that purposefully. Once they realized they had opportunity that they could take advantage of with the right folks in place, they purposefully made sure that they had that cash flow set aside, and we've used that cash flow. And then as we grew a little bit, our financials got a little bit more stable, got a little bit more organized by getting our bookkeeping straightened out, all that stuff you do as when you're growing to try to get organized. Once we did that, that's when we went to a bank and secured a line of credit. And so we've been using that line of credit on and off for the past couple of years just to be able to take advantage of some opportunities, but still trying to cash flow everything we can when possible.
Okay. Good deal. So switching gears a little bit, so you guys have 35 employees. Is that through everybody?
Yeah, so that's from the Gulf Coast all the way through Nashville.
Oh, wow. Okay, gotcha. And do you guys see yourself growing more? Hiring more employees, technicians, buying more trucks, expanding to new offices?
Yeah, definitely. Growth is still our plan.
Yeah.
Our 10-year plan. We don't operate on EOS completely, but we do some EOS stuff. And so our 10-year plan would be to end this year in recurring revenue, not actual produced revenue, but with a portfolio for next year of around 8 million, and then grow that to 15 million over the next 5 years in recurring, and then grow it to just south of 30 million over a 10-year plan. So if we keep doing what we're doing right now, that's what we'll achieve.
Wow.
Just by doing what we're doing right now. I think I may have lost you, Alex.
Sorry about that.
You're good. I got you now.
Yeah, it literally just cut out on me, straight up. So I was like,
well, I wasn't sure if it was me. Like I told you, I live in a very small town and I don't live with the best internet. So some days it gets a little sketchy. So I wasn't sure if it was me or you.
I think it was me on this one. I had no idea. Everything was going great and all of a sudden, bloop, I'm done. I'm off. Apologies again.
But no, you're good. We definitely have an eye to grow. We don't want to sit still as a company. We desire to grow. We believe that we have the infrastructure built. Like I said, most of us were leaders and saw a company scale from 8 million when we got there to, just under 30 million when it sold to private equity. And then a few of us stayed on after that and saw it go from just under 30 million to just north of 80 million in the next 3 years. So we've seen how businesses can scale and grow in the pest control industry, and that's our desire. Most of us are fairly young. A couple of us are pushing up on 50, but most of us are in our early 40s. And so we got a lot of runway. And I think the best 15 years of our lives, kind of where you're still physically able to do what you want to do, and you mentally able to do what you want to do, and you have a enough experience all built up to not make the fatal mistakes. So we're really hoping to really pour into people and build a influence building tool first in our business where we can be a force for good, positively impacting the lives of our employees, our customers, and our community, but then also a wealth building tool that will then give us the ability to have more influence and impact.
Yeah. Good for you guys. That's awesome. It's slow and steady, this wins the race. So, and especially when it comes to business, you don't want to be growing too fast, or else that's when mistakes happen. You get it.
Yeah, and I would say that we've kind of bounced. We're in that zone of, if this is too fast, we're probably for the capital we have, if we were backed by private equity and, cash flow wasn't an issue at all, and, we had a huge line of credit to go grow with, and we're definitely not growing too fast. But for our means, we're right on the edge of just and under growing too fast, but we want to keep it in. We want to push hard, but to your point, we want to grow smart too.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Yep. I totally get it. With your growth so far, what's been some of the challenges you guys have been facing?
I think we've just now started facing a few staffing problems, and not even problems, but just like it's been slow to hire, especially in new markets that we're not familiar with. Like we just launched Dallas, Fort Worth. We're looking to set up shop. We're already in Auburn, Alabama, but we're looking to hire a market leader there. And so hiring that market leader there has been a little tougher. So we're just starting to see some of those issues. But again, I think our biggest pain points thus far has been telling ourselves to be patient, and it's just not the right time to try to take advantage of every opportunity from a cash flow standpoint. If we had an unlimited amount of capital, we could go take advantage of a lot more opportunities, and I think be growing double what we are right now. So that has really been the biggest challenge so far. Kind of a secondary challenge that I think we have is a lot of the folks that we've hired in the field or as salespeople were all leaders where they came from, and they came here and they believed in the vision that we were chasing here and that we're casting and where we're going. And so they were willing to take a step back and take, a field position with us. And so they've been here for maybe 2 or 3 years working in the field. And so now we've got a bunch of bench strength that has the ability to do far more than just the customer facing stuff. But I think that over the next, 12 months, finding roles for those folks to be able to grow in and continue to empower those folks is going to be a bit, not really an obstacle, but more of an opportunity for us over the next 12 to 18 months.
Yeah, absolutely. And culture is definitely a big thing when it comes to hiring employees, hire good employees. And it's actually kind of says a lot when you do hire people in management position who are willing to take a step back, and learn, a new company, how it's structured, the culture, that type of stuff, versus someone going in, well, we did it this way in my whole company, so I'm gonna do it this way, or, that's the only way they know.
For sure. And culture is, I think, where a company starts. And I believe in 3 things for a business that every good, really, organization has to have. It's, a strong culture. That's the why, you've got to inspire belief in the why.
Yeah.
From your people, and that's kind of where everything starts. Then secondly is strategy. So strategically, you got to be at the place that what your ideal customer looks like, who you're going after, how you're going to get to that customer, how you're going to shoot cannonballs, not bullets, in doing that, and really scale the marketing effort, and then strategically how you're going to pull off doing your services, hiring people, all those big picture strategy things. And if that's the, if culture is the why, then I think that strategy is the what, then after that, I think it comes down to execution. If you got the right culture in place and then you've put the right strategies in place, then you just got to go get stuff done, right? You got to expect world-class results from your team and make sure that you're executing every day. So to your point about culture being really important, I think culture is super important, but I think the right culture aligned with the right strategic vision, aligned with the right on-the-ground execution is really when we win as business owners.
Exactly. And I mean, you're going to make mistakes, so you got to learn fast and, flip it, make sure you're getting on the right path.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Ryan, I really appreciate your time. Anything else you want to add before we hop off?
No, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to be here and talk with you, and look forward to connecting again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, stick around. I have a couple questions for you, but where can they find you?
Best thing to do is to just go to roguepest.com, and all of our info's there. We got a chat widget there that we monitor, that, everything gets to us, but then also, they can reach out to me directly at ryan@roguepest.com, RYAN@roguepest.com. Love to chat with anybody.
Any plans to expand to Denver?
If it was up to me, I would be there. We have a strategic plan. Part of that strategy for us is we want to stay where termite populations are very heavy.
Yeah, we don't have much termites here in Denver. Yeah.
But man, I went to Colorado for the first time in my life this past summer.
Oh, yeah.
And I've always made fun of people who say, we have the Smoky Mountains here in Tennessee, which are great. And I've seen people with shirts and signs that say the mountains are calling, and I always no, that's stupid. I like the beach. And then I went to the Rockies this past summer, and man, it's just different.
Yeah, it's something else. It's something else for sure. It's like, as soon as you hop on the airport, start heading west, the mountains, it looks like a painting. It's like, am I ever going to reach these? So
yeah. We landed in Denver and went to Grand County and went to the Grand Lake, which is at the southern entrance of the Rocky Mountain National Park. We wanted to kind of stay away from the Estes Park. And man, my kids fell in love. I got 4 kids. They fell in love with that as a mountain town. And we spent 4 days there. And then we drove down to Durango and spent 4 days at a ski resort there, but then did Ouray and, and all of that. And just, man, it was life-changing.
A little bit different than Tennessee.
So much. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, we'll love it here. It's great. It's, to your point, we literally have everything but water. We don't have the beach here, but we have all 4 seasons. We have the outdoors. We have really anything you can think of, but the water, pretty much.
Yeah, we enjoyed in Grand Lake. There's a huge lake there right off of the downtown area, and we tried to swim in the lake in July. Man, it was still too cold for us Southerners. We couldn't stand it. It was like a polar bear plunge getting in the water there. There's other people just playing in it, and we're like freezing.
Yeah.
So we didn't spend a lot of time in that water.
Yeah. It's just because we're at such high elevation. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, definitely go check out the mountain towns like Breckenridge, Vail, Keystone. Keystone's really cool. Breckenridge is really cool. Frisco, Silverthorne, all those stuff just right off I-70. They're easy to get to too. So,
sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ryan, real quick before we hop off, I want to ask you this. You did stress a little bit about capital and, getting funds. If you did have private equity behind you, you'd be able to grow a little bit faster. Have you thought of a model? There's a model called Be Your Own Bank, or the infinite banking model. I don't know if you've heard of that.
No.
Essentially, it is where you are your own bank. It's basically what's called, it's a tax-free piggy bank. So, and this is set up through life insurance policies that the business owns. So you set up a life insurance policy through this business, and you pay into this policy, and you can actually leverage $1 against, this policy. So, hey, I need capital over here to buy, for example, like a new truck, for easy number's sake. I need $50,000 over here. And everything is tied to the market. So it's an arbitrage situation, because you can use your dollar over here, this $50,000. And if the market does say 10% for easy number's sake, they're going to pay you that 10% on the $50,000. So here's $5,000 over here they're going to pay you. And at the same time, you're using that money to buy a new truck. Leverage situation, you're using the same dollar twice. And it's just a more tax efficient way of using your money versus taking a loan out, going to go get a line of credit, opening up new credit cards, that type of stuff. So I didn't know if you wanted to talk a little bit more about that on another call, but it's for businesses, it's a really tax efficient way to help them grow.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely look into that, and I'm open to another call. I would say I would prefer to spend some time understanding what that's like, and then maybe
I'll send you more information on it too.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Builders Bible Podcast. If you have any questions, or if you want to be on an episode, reach out anytime. Alex at kings-coaching.co. Talk to you guys soon.